Hello everyone, we are at the Stitch e-commerce Elevate event and it's been a day full of high energy, a lot of learnings, and I'm sitting across the table from Bacha. You are the head of marketing
Yes,
at Tshepo Jeans, and such an incredible brand that you guys have built.
thank you.
So thank you for joining me, and I'm going to ask you some uncomfortable questions
Love it.
for the rest
Done.
20 minutes or so.
Awesome.
Amazing. Let's start with some of the basics. Just Tshepo Jeans. I mean, is it just another jean brand? What makes you guys unique? How do you stand out in this noisy environment where you've got so much competition?
Great question. Within the jean space in South Africa, as a South African brand, there isn't actually a lot going on. And we were one of the first, which is quite exciting. From a global point of view, yes. And how do we stand out? By being really authentically South African and who we are. We have an amazing founder, Tshepo Mohlala, who really leads the way with who he is as a person. And we've been able to follow that. And he is such a genuine, wonderful person who believes in craft, who believes in South Africa. And we brought that into our brand, into our storytelling. So when it comes to craftsmanship, you can't beat it. But when it comes to South African storytelling and luxury, you can't beat it either.
And where can people find Tshepo Jeans at the moment? Are you solely online? Are you in retail? What are your channels like?
So we have 2 stores in Johannesburg. We're in Hyde Park, which was our first store in 2020, which really set us at a level of luxury. People understood where we were playing. Once we moved into Hyde Park, we now have a store in Sandton City, which started off as a pop-up and now from next month will be a permanent store.
Oh, wow.
And we are looking to move into other areas within South Africa, but the bigger play is a global play. We want to be an international brand based out of South Africa.
Amazing. And you spoke about the fact earlier that you're also online.
Yes, we're online.
And my question to you would be, for those listening and watching, considering it's an e-commerce event, what platform do people choose and why? Like, what platform have you chosen? Because there's so many options. You've got Shopify, you've got WooCommerce, you've got Magento, you've got Wix. What did you end up picking?
We picked Shopify. I think that was the easiest for us with a small team and our limited knowledge at that point to really jump in and play with the big boys. And we found Shopify to be an incredible platform to work on and to grow with. So it's exciting times, especially with our online. Moving international before we actually have brick and mortar, we're able to open up and really service that community that we're speaking to.
And talking about Shopify, I asked this question for most people, and that's, I've gotten different answers throughout the day. My question is, are there anything specifically from a Shopify app point of view that you guys just love using? Is there anything specifically that helps you convert customers or bring people back? I think what I'm asking is, what are your top Shopify apps that you use in order to drive online sales?
We've done a lot of A/B testing, and that's been really helpful on Shopify to really be able to test what works best for our customers and then build in code or download the right apps and bring in those apps to be able to convert, which has been really exciting for us. I think there's been a lot of development on the site within the last year. And from an app point of view, what's worked really nicely for us are bundles. So we don't go on sale. Tshepo doesn't go on sale. We're a luxury brand. We don't have our July winter sale and our January summer sale. So for us to be able to bundle certain outfits together allows us to increase basket size without having to say, get 50% off or get a special.
I love it. And talking about the app side of things, and then moving into the acquisition side, like what channels do you currently mainly use in order to find customers online?
So when Tshepo started 10 years ago, he had an Instagram account. And 10 years ago, it was a lot easier to get organic traction and organic growth. And he really built this brand on Instagram. He posted up saying something big is coming. That was like the big thing. And for a while, nothing big came because he was busy making jeans. And then he started to sell jeans and create and sell and create and sell. And that's how it started. It was bootstrapped. It was out of his car.
Wow.
And it was really an Instagram moment for us in South Africa, is creating this really strong community and following. So Instagram has always been our strongest platform. TikTok, of course, is something that we are really investing in, especially with like our younger audience. But I would have to say that Instagram is where a lot of our core community
And
is
does Facebook play a part of that, or is it mainly Instagram?
So Facebook converts better for us than Instagram. But from an organic point of view, I would say Instagram
Sure.
is better and Facebook from a paid.
So from an organic side, you post, I'm assuming, on a weekly basis, just out of curiosity.
Yes.
What is that cadence like?
We post organically about 3 times a week. And for us, we ask one question. We say, would someone share this? If someone isn't going to share it, it's not worth posting at this point. Social in general is a beast, and it's a very hungry beast, and it's exhausting because you have to feed it and feed it and feed it. And the more you feed it, the more the algorithm makes you want and need to feed it. So there's a lot going on within that space, and especially when it comes to organic and reach and actually getting to our audience. You know, the bigger the audience you have, the more throttled you are from an organic point of view. So there's a lot for us to really play with and make sure that the content that we are creating is valid, it's useful, it's got an element to it that people really resonate with. Because if I resonate with it and I see a bit of myself in it, or I see an element of what I want to become or what I wish I was or what I had, then I'm probably going to share it with someone. I'm going to share it with someone who I see mirrored back as well from that content. And for us, that's a big part of creating content for Tshepo.
So it's safe to assume that organic content is a big part of your acquisition strategy, listening to what you're saying?
Organic content is a big part, and storytelling. So everything we do is based on storytelling. Every moment within the Tshepo brand tells a story. From our CI, the actual color palette that we use, to the graphics that we have on our t-shirts, to our crown, to the name Tshepo, everything has a story behind it, and it's my job to tell that story.
And outside of organic, what else do you guys do?
We do paid media. We have a very strong email subscription, so we speak to our customers through email. Sorry, I'm thinking now. We do a lot of in-person events. For us, it's incredibly important to build a community. When I started at Tshepo 3 years ago, Tshepo said to me, Batya, you have one job. It's to build me a strong community.
Oh, wow.
That's what he wanted. And we don't always have to push brand. We just have to push storytelling, and we have to push community building. And it's amazing to see what happens with that. It's almost like our community become evangelists of the brand, and they become like selling partners for us. We have customers who didn't know the person, didn't know Tshepo, the person behind the brand. They come in, they fall in love with the product, they fall in love with the brand, host a birthday party, and the theme is Tshepo. Everyone has to wear Tshepo. That's the theme of the party. Come wearing Tshepo. Why? Because I love the brand. That's the kind of customers we are naturally pulling towards us, which is really exciting, and it's a beautiful thing to witness.
A lot of people watching and listening, are most likely starting a business or have started one and they want to scale it. I mean, what have you guys done in order to grow the way that you have over the last 2 years? Like, what have you done exceptionally well? You've mentioned, obviously, you're doing organic, paid media, you're building a community, but is there anything that you've doubled down on and focused on specifically? And can you elaborate on that? This is now outside building the community side of things.
I think the key to Tshepo's success is consistency and taking it slow. Everything we have done, we've said, let's do less and let's do it better. So instead of trying to touch every single channel and every single person in every single way, we've said, who do we want to speak to? What is that ultimate customer? Let's go find them, because the moment we find them, they'll be able to, once again, as you said, become an evangelist of the brand and spread that word for us. So we've really taken our time to find the right people, to work with the right people. A big thing for us is culture. Everything is based and rooted in culture. So we're also very cognizant of being very present in the South African cultural space. So when it comes to music, we have a lot of partnerships, and they're organic partnerships. It's people who started off as customers who fell in love with the brand and wanted to work with us. Within the deep house space, Amapiano has gone global, and we are going with it in a sense. So if you look at our Shopify figures, you'll see South Africa, it's Johannesburg, Cape Town, KZN, and then Germany, Belgium, all these European countries are looking at the Tshepo site because they're seeing the artists wearing them on these big global stages.
And I mean, part of growing and scaling, obviously, and being digitally focused, that comes with a lot of data. So my question would be is like, do you pay attention to the data sets? Like, are there key metrics that you analyze and make decisions on at all?
We do. I'm not the person that does that, so I don't want to answer it too technically. But yes, absolutely we do. But more than that, and not only that, we're really looking at what people are saying. Like for us, comments, and we get a lot of private DMs on our socials. People love the brand. The best thing to see is when someone says, 1,500 rand for a t-shirt, that's crazy. What do they think they are, Gucci? And then you start to see this whole thread going down. And we don't have to say anything as the brand because it's this whole community that comes and like, what do you mean? Have you felt the quality? This is better than a Gucci. This is South African finest. Why wouldn't you spend more for a South African brand? What are you talking about? Have you felt it? Have you worn it? People come on and fight for the brand because they believe in it and it's really
They invested in it.
Exactly.
And in a space that we live in right now, there's so many things happening so quickly. I mean, AI is one of the things that basically changes every day. I think my question is like, do you guys leverage AI at all from a marketing point of view or in the business at all?
Yes, we do, but not enough. I think for me, my one focus for online specifically is really to look at conversation and that deep relationship and how do we get that in an online space. So if you come and you walk into any of our Tshepo stores, you will have an incredible customer experience. You will be served something to drink. You will be asked your name. You will hear about the stories behind the brand. You will learn about denim. You will learn about the different types of denim. Our client advisors are there to give you an incredible experience. That doesn't always resonate online, and that's a big problem. So for me, looking at personalization and really looking at a way of letting a person come onto the site and say, what am I looking for? I don't have to try find it. The AI is asking me and then giving me those answers. I think for me, that would be an incredible online experience for a customer.
And again, looking at the growth rate that you guys have had over the last few years, I'm just wondering out of curiosity, what are some of the core challenges that you've faced during this time of growth and how did you overcome it?
Well, where do I start? A big challenge that we had within the business was trying to keep everything extremely local. So we were trying to create all of our jeans as close to home as we could. We have an atelier. We also have T-shirts and a lot of other products. And then there was stage 6 load shedding, and then there were riots, and there were floods, and a lot of products come from Durban. That's where a lot of CMT sit. So that was very, very difficult for us. If we were expecting something to arrive in February and it arrives in November, that's a massive project.
Yes.
So we have done a lot of work with really trying to upskill our staff internally, and we do have the best seamstresses and tailors on a global stage when it comes to denim now, and we are working with the best production houses as close to South Africa as we can if we can't get it in South Africa. And I really think that sometimes you're pushed out of your comfort zone because of external forces, and we landed up having beautiful quality products coming out of Mauritius and South Africa, upskilling our tailors and seamstresses to a level of, as I say, really a global high level. Tshepo and I were actually in Amsterdam 2 years ago, and just taking a step back, actually, a lot of our seamstresses and tailors live in the area where we are around Bertram's, which isn't a great area. There's a lot of unemployment, and when Tshepo decided to open up in Victoria Yards, which is where we're based in Johannesburg, it was very important for him that women, especially mothers, didn't have to travel for hours to come and go to work. He wanted them by 5:05 to be at home with their kids. So he walked out onto the streets and he said, who wants a job? And people came with very limited experience, and we got the head tailor from the design school in Amsterdam to come through and train up our staff. And 2 years later, or a few years later, Tshepo and I went to Amsterdam, and we took a lot of products with us. We had like a pop-up store, and we were part of the Denim Days experience. And the head tailor looked at our products and he said, are these the same people? Are these the same machines? This is absolutely world class. And he was like, compared to other European designers, to Japanese designers and couture makers, this is world class. And for me, that was just such a stamp of approval that like we've gotten to a level through the hardships of what South Africa might have. We can create luxury and we can define luxury for ourselves, which is also so exciting.
And specifically referring to the digital side of things, what kind of challenges have you faced there?
I think our coming into an online space without a big team and without a lot of previous experience, I think we've been learning slowly. I don't think there's been massive hurdles. I just think that our growth has been slow and steady, and we're finally getting to a point where we're seeing a little bit of a snowball effect, a positive snowball effect, and there's growth and there's growth and there's growth. But it took us a little bit of time to get there, and it's hard to be patient.
We always want things now.
Yeah.
Tell me, and from an online perspective, you mentioned A/B testing specifically earlier. Do you guys spend time optimizing your website for conversions at all? Because that's probably one of the easiest underrated ways in order to squeeze more money out of the actual marketing budget that you deploy. Is that something you take seriously?
Absolutely. So we have a head of online now, and once a month we relook our website completely. And she sits on the programs and looks at everyone's behavior and shopping behavior and where they are getting stuck, and we rework it. Just last month, we had bundles live, and we were noticing that people were getting stuck. It wasn't as intuitive as we had first hoped. We sat over the weekend, did what needed to be done, and we just saw the sales start to tick. And it's so easy to implement something and then wait and then look back and say, oh, it didn't work. Why it didn't work, we're not sure.
Yes.
But with such a small team, we're really able to see the problem, invest in it, and then change it and start to see those positive results.
And I think talking about conversion rate, a lot of people probably underestimate the actual checkout process and what you can probably optimize in order to, get more people to actually buy the product or service. Have you guys done anything on the checkout side of things that has helped over the last few months at all?
We have had a few interesting changes. Definitely Stitch being one of them, which is the most effective. I was in the office when we brought Stitch online on our Tshepo store, and within the first 30 seconds, the first order came through, and it's just been this wonderful effect since then. It was amazing to see. And over and above that, I think bringing in these other payment methods has been really important for us. Yeah, having options, having payment method options is extremely important for a customer, and we've definitely seen sales increase exponentially since we've brought Stitch on. And over and above that, I would say the most interesting test that we did, which was a winner, and we implemented it so simple, but it really was incredibly effective, was to put on our checkout a little banner that said, your products aren't kept aside, check out now to secure them. And I think that certain purchasing behavior from other bigger online retailers has allowed people to put things in their basket or go to checkout and then wait. And then the discounts start coming through email, which is something we're never going to do.
Yes.
So for us just to let our customers know that it's not being kept aside, Tshepo doesn't have a million items of each product. We are small. We're supposed to be small. It needs to feel like if you're in the know, you're in the know. you get it or it's sold out. And for us, that little change really made a big difference.
Interesting. I love it. As we round off, I just want to ask, for those watching, listening, a lot of these people are business owners, just started or have started a while ago, and they're obviously just looking to grow as quickly as they can, as seamlessly as they can. Is there any advice or perspectives that you can share based on your hindsight experience in your career that, you know, can maybe point them in the right direction?
I'll just go back to that one point that I said before, which is do less, do it better. So don't try touch every touch point at once. If you want to start email marketing, really understand what that means and do it properly. And once you've done it properly, perfect it and keep on perfecting it and keep on changing and get to a point where you're ready to take something else on. And if you can do it like that, you'll start to see much better growth instead of saying, I need everything into this funnel and I need to catch everyone at every point, because we're not going to be able to. So rather, take it slow, do it properly, get the basis right, get the structure right. Then you don't need as many people, you don't need as many hands on it. And I think for us, that's where we've seen the most success.
I love it. I love that so much. Great advice. Batya, it was such a pleasure chatting to you. Thank you for making the time. I wish you guys nothing but success moving forward.
Thank you.
Much
And we've
love
got to
to
get
you.
you into some Tshepo Jeans.
Hey, we need to make a plan.
We'll do
Mate,
it.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Much love. All the best. Cheers.